Hi there. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make October Stamp Club swiper card. So October was fancy fold cards, but well, really that's not true because really this is the card from September that we had some issues with and we did in October. But let me show you how to do this wiper card. Okay, so we're using the Whale Done bundle. You'll need the stamp set and of course the punch. Let's check out what is in our kit. So we have, I'm going to leave this down here so you can see how I stamped it and how the pieces go. So in our kit, the first thing we're going to work on or use is these two pieces here. These are Pretty Peacock. They're 5 1/2 here, and this one, the larger one, is 4 1/4, and this one is 2 inches. Both of them are scored at 1 1/2. I'm going to fold it this way, 1 1/2 and 3 inches. So we're going to Z-fold those like that. And we'll do the same thing to this one. We're going to fold it here and then fold this one back. So we have 2 Z-folds here, but this one we're going to turn over and it's going to go this way. So they'll go Z-fold on both ends, okay? So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to glue this piece down to this corner. So I'm going to use liquid glue so I can move it around, and I'm going to hold my cardstock here so I see how high up I want that glue to go, because I only want the glue where the paper is going to cover it. So see if I can see it there, and I'm going to just take a little bit of liquid glue and put it here. So it's about 2 inches because this is a 2-inch strip, and then lay this right on top of here and line those corners up and these edges up. Let me get it up a little bit there so that they're straight. So see, now those corners line up nicely. And if you look, this is the base of your card. Now we're not going to glue this piece yet. We're not ready for that part. But also in your kit, you have, let me put this away real quick. You have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. They look like this. One of them, let me put some adhesive on the back of this tall one, which is 4 inches by 1 1/4. All the measurements are on my blog. So if you want the measurements, you need to go to Be Creative with Kathy, and all the measurements and the supplies that I use. Because if you have colors that are close, you can just use what colors you have of ink pads I'm talking about. But anyway, so this one goes here and this little one here. And as I was saying, all on my blog has the supplies of the list and the measurements and even the videos and pictures, and hopefully everything that you need is right there to complete your cards. Okay, and we're going to put this piece, goes in this corner over here. It looks like that. So let's go ahead and do some stamping now. Whoops, I keep moving that out of the camera. We want that in the camera so we can see, well, especially you can see where to stamp. So we're going to stamp on, not this one. Make sure you don't lose this little window sheet and this one, but these 3 we're going to stamp on. Okay, so this blue one, and let me find my Pierce mat because we're using a photopolymer stamp set, so I want to make sure I stamp on my Pierce mat. This blue one is the one that goes back here, and we just want to add some little fish onto the back of that. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue ink, my little fish stamp, and I think this time I'm going to stamp them a little bit different and just have them diagonal right down my card, just like that. Just something different, something like, now don't put that too far, we're going to need that again. So on this circle here, and this circle is with the stitched shape dies that has the circles, the triangle, no, circles, squares, and ovals. That's the 3 shapes in that die set. And they all have the stitching around them, but duh, that goes by the name. So then with my words, it's kind of a big deal. I'm going to stamp them on this circle here toward the right-hand side. And just lay that down, let that ink sink in. Just like that. And then with my little fish, here it is, my little fish stamp, I'm going to stamp them again right underneath my words right there. Okay, now I think I'm done with the Balmy Blue. I'm going to go ahead and put it away, and I'm going to bring in some Granny Green wait, Granny Apple Green. There we go. And that long, tall seaweed stamp, and just stamp that right next to my fish and by my words and lay him down right there. So he looks like that. And then, let me put this away so I can get my fingers in there. Then we're gonna bring in some peacock and that smaller piece of seaweed and just stamp it right there. So I think that looks good just like that. Now this piece is for the back of your card if you wish to stamp on it to match the front. And then you have a place to write your greeting and such. I'm not gonna do that today. You can do that on your own time, so I don't waste your time with the rest of it. But that's what this piece is for the back of your card. Okay, so then you have a piece that looks like this, and I'm gonna take this off so I can see it better on my Pierce mat. And the big whale stamp, like this. I've inked him up in Pretty Peacock, and I'm gonna stamp him down here in the left-hand corner. Hold that down because he's kind of a solid image. Let that ink sink in so I get a nice crisp peacock blue, green, like that. Look how cute that whale is. Now we need to punch him out. So now when I hold on to the right-hand upper corner, I have room to hold him and punch him. That's why I said to stamp down in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm gonna put him in my punch so I get a nice white border around there. Punch that out. Okay, and we only need the whale, so all these other pieces are just trash. And he looks just like that. Now we're gonna set him aside. And we have this piece ready. We're gonna go ahead, let me put the ink away. So we're gonna take this piece, put some adhesive on the back. And then on our card base, I'm gonna put him, and he's cut the wrong size. Hold on just a second. Boy, that's embarrassing. I forgot to do the final cut. No worries though, yours is cut right. I cut mine at the last minute because I had to cut a quick new packet. So I'm sure yours is cut right, mine was not. But now he's fixed. So there he goes, right there in that spot there, okay? Now it's time, now we've done all of our stamping, to put our mechanism together so we can have our whale swipe or jump, as I'd like to call it. So we're gonna open this piece up like this. Okay, and we have the two score lines here. We're gonna work right here. We have this little piece of cardstock. This is 1 inch by 1 5/8, and we're gonna take this corner here and just bend it down like this. We'll see if I can get a point up here at the end. Yep, just like that. Now I'm gonna use my bone folder, get a nice crisp fold on there. So it looks like that. See how I took this corner and then just folded it down, and it looks like that there. Okay, so now speaking of our score lines, again, this is the first score line, this is the second score line. I hope you can see them both. We're gonna work in between those score lines, and we're gonna lay this down with our little triangle here down like this. We're gonna line it up with this score line in between these score lines, so it's up here, and this point is at the top here. So let me show you. We're gonna put a little bit of liquid glue just on this triangle that's folded down. And then we're gonna lay him down, lining him up with inside of this score line so that this point is at the top, not going over, but at the top. And it doesn't have to be to the very top. It just has to be up there. And when you unfold it, see, make sure it doesn't go over here, but yet when you fold it down, it doesn't cross this score line right here. See how it still can fold? And that piece of paper is right there. So does that, see how it works this way? And down, up and down, okay? Now I'm gonna take that little window sheet, I haven't lost it, yay for me, and I'm gonna just put a couple glue dots on there, on one end, You see the glue dots on my window sheet, and I'm gonna glue it down right there in the center of this piece that's folded down. Let me show you. So it looks like that. Okay, now with our whale needs to attach to this window sheet. So I'm going to take my scissors here and just put 2 of these glue dots on the end of that window sheet and stick my finger on it. Okay, so now I want to put my whale on there, but it has to stay in between. It can come off the end, but it needs to stay between the top and the bottom of that banner coming across. So I'm going to put him right here, and now he's in between. He's not up above or down below. His tail can hang off this way. That's fine. So now to test and see if he works, because eventually we're going to take this and glue it down. So I'm going to just hold it here with my hand and test to make sure. Yep, look, now my whale is gone, and now my whale is back, just like that, right? Cool. Okay, so let's go ahead, now that we know he works, and we're gonna put some liquid glue on this rectangle right here. And then, so see, it's just on this piece here, not anything else, and we're gonna glue this down right here, making sure that those corners and everything line up down here. So it looks like that. Right? So far, so good. There's our card. Okay, so now in your kit, you're going to have a piece like this. This is Granny Apple Green. It's 1 inch long. Now yours has already been cut to a banner. Mine hasn't. I'm going to cut it real quick by using the Pick a Banner punch. And the Pick a Banner punch has these 2. You can either do like a banner or what I call like an arrow, but I'm going to put it in there and make sure it lines up back here, and then just squeeze that, and look how cool that banner is. Now the Pick a Banner punch can do a piece of paper the size of 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1 inch by just slipping your paper into these different size grooves right here. So it's a pretty cool punch. Love that punch. It's in the holiday catalog if you're interested. Okay, so a little bit of tape on the back of our banner now, and I'm gonna line this up with this Designer Series paper here and try to get it centered this way on my card. It might not be perfect, but I'm okay with that. I think it looks pretty good. Look, I keep playing with my whale. Where'd he go? There he is. Where'd he go? There he is. Okay, anyway, so now it's time to put this circle on there. And I'm gonna put a dimensional on my card base. So I make sure that I don't want the stick to this part, but I want it to be here. That looks pretty good. So if I put it there, now I can put another dimensional, probably 2 along the bottom. Let me make sure I got the bottom of the circle here too, so he's firmly adhered to the card front, but doesn't stick where we don't want him. So let's see how I did. If I set him, I think he looks good about right there. So there you go. So there's our card. And so you know, I believe it was Julie Davison that had this card on Pinterest, and I really liked it, and I thought you would like it too. So there's our card. Thank you, Julie, for posting your card. We're all done. So if you have any questions, well, and let me tell you this too, that if you want to see the other 2 cards that we made at Club this month, or if you have your packet and you need to put your card together, I've posted them on my YouTube channel. You just need to go to the Stamp Club playlist and you can find them there, or you can go to my blog, Be Creative with Kathy, and that has you can find the link to the YouTube videos. It has all the supplies, it has the measurements, it has everything there. Well, not yet, I'm working on it right now, so it should be there in just a few minutes. So there you go. I hope you like the cards, and we'll see you next month at Stamp Club. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.